As per current estimates, El Chapo's net worth is $3 billion. El Chapo is considered to have been one of the most powerful drug traffickers in the world. As per authorities, El Chapo has cash reserves of over $400 million in U.S. currency, stacked in various parts of Mexico. After El Chapo was captured by the DEA, his children have inherited his empire and also his wealth. Today, we will tell you about 10 insane ways El Chapo spent his money. Now make sure to watch until the end, because the further we get, the more crazy and expensive these purchases become. Before proceeding further, please subscribe to the channel and click on the notification icon so you would get notified when we upload the next video. Number 10. Chevy Corvette ZR1, worth $130,000. To add to his collection of shiny and fast cars, El Chapo bought a white Chevy Corvette ZR1. This is one of the fastest and most exclusive cars on the market. It has 638 horsepower, and it's not even available in the United States. Of course, when you're El Chapo, the more exclusive, the better. He has no trouble getting his hands on cars like this. It has a 6.2-liter V8 engine and can reach speeds as high as 192 miles per hour. When you spend most of your time running from either the police or rival drug lords, that kind of speed comes in handy. More than 30 luxury cars and motorcycles were confiscated from alleged members of organized crime groups in Culiacan, Sinaloa, in a series of raids conducted by the Mexican government over the span of a week, according to reports from the Mexican Navy. The vehicles included Dodge Viper and a fully loaded Jeep Sahara, to a Ducati and a various Mercedes-Benz models. In addition, over a dozen military-grade weapons were also confiscated during the week-long raids in Culiacan, the capital of the Mexican state of Sinaloa that serves as the home base of the Sinaloa cartel. Number 9. Dodge Viper, worth $199,000. If you know anything about fancy sports cars, you know how cool and coveted the Dodge Viper is. They don't make all that many of them, and they're very hard to find on the resale market. El Chapo's Dodge Viper is electric blue with white racing stripes. Although the car is tiny, it is super fast, running on a V10 engine. People close to the drug lord says he bought this car because he wanted to remind those around him that he was a fearful and powerful man. The Viper snake is one of the deadliest snakes in the world. This goes a long way towards showing the scary side of El Chapo's personality. Number 8. Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, worth $300,000. This gorgeous, sleek, silver luxury car is made by Mercedes-Benz and is one of their most exclusive automobiles. While offering a sleek, shiny design, the SLS AMG can also reach speeds unimaginable in other cars. Boasting over 600 horsepower, it's one of the fastest sports cars in the world. It has gull-wing doors, which can be quite convenient if you need to make a fast getaway, or if you need to open fire on a bunch of thugs coming to steal your cash and drugs. This car was actually the one seized by the authorities when El Chapo was arrested, and it will remain in their custody. Number 7. Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, worth $1.5 million. A lot of us can't even imagine spending $1.5 million on a mansion, so it's a bit mind-boggling that someone would spend this much on a car. But when you're El Chapo and you have cash just burning a hole in your pocket, $1.5 million is a drop in the bucket. El Chapo's McLaren is bright white. Normally, this car has 557 horsepower. However, that wasn't enough for El Chapo. He had a company called Rentec custom make his car so that it has as much as 722 horsepower. It's hard to think of a situation when you need to go this fast, but then again, things are different in El Chapo's world. He also had the car outfitted to have a special aeronautical exterior so that he could go even faster. Number 6. Private ranch in Guadalajara, worth $1.9 million. It's believed that El Chapo has a ranch or estate in every single U.S. state. The same is true for most of the countries in Central and South America. His private ranch in Guadalajara is said to be worth close to $2 million. There's no exact figure as to how much he paid for his ranch, but similar ranches in the area have sold for $1.9 million. That may not sound like all that much money. However, for this part of the world, it's a ton of money. The ranch has private tennis courts and pools. It is also rumored to have tunnels that El Chapo had built so that he could escape at a moment's notice. They call it his hideout mansion for good reason. Nobody sees him come in, and nobody sees him leave. Number 5. Tuna Mansion, worth $2.2 million. You could write an entire book about all the properties that El Chapo allegedly owns. But one that we're sure about is the mansion he owns in La Tuna, Texas. He actually bought this plot and had a home built for his mother. This was in his hometown, and he wanted her to be able to stay there, but he also wanted her to live in style. The ironic thing about La Tuna is that it's also the site of a large federal correctional institution. In a way, by building his estate there, El Chapo was mocking the federal authorities. The home was the scene of many gunfights where both El Chapo's men and local citizens have been killed. It is known as the Golden Triangle, one of the central pieces of El Chapo's drug kingdom. Number 4. Private Zoo, worth $5 million. Having huge mansions and estates is not enough for El Chapo. He wanted his own private zoo, so he had one built. Located just near the coast in Acapulco, his zoo includes lions, tigers, and even crocodiles. El Chapo is fascinated with big cats, so he keeps his zoo stocked with panthers, tigers, and lions at all times. He also has a small train that rides around the zoo so that his guests can see all of the animals in their unnatural habitats. One has to wonder, have any of El Chapo's enemies been given a special tour of the zoo? Number 3. Acapulco Beach House, worth $10 million. Before he built his zoo, El Chapo built a luxury beach house right on the coast of Acapulco. The house has a private beach where El Chapo and his guests can enjoy the sun and sand without worrying about rival drug lords crashing the party. The house is huge, with tennis courts and pools. Very few who have been there have been willing to describe the inside of his beach house. And of course, El Chapo wasn't going to invite journalists or photographers from Architectural Digest into his home. This is actually the only asset El Chapo owns that has an actual known price tag. Number 2. Yacht El Chapo, worth $275 million. The man is said to have fleets of submarines and freighters ready to carry his drugs and cash all over the world. He's rumored to have entire fleets of private planes that do nothing but transport pounds of cash worldwide. But the only vessel El Chapo admits to having in his yacht is appropriately named El Chapito. He named the boat after himself. The thing is, the man is El Chapo. He named the boat El Chapito, implying that he's actually larger than his $275 million yacht. The boat is kept docked near his zoo and beach house in Acapulco. Before beginning his prison sentence, it was rumored that he would take dozens of models and other guests on the yacht for private parties that would last days on end. Number 1. Carbon fiber super stealth plane, worth $929 million. We've reached number 1 on our list, and this is the most expensive item El Chapo has bought by far. If you're going to be the number 1 name on the US government's most wanted list, you're gonna need to stay incognito. El Chapo was able to do just that in his carbon fiber super stealth plane. He used this plane to transport his drugs, cash, and even himself around the world. The plane was made to avoid detection from radar. The carbon fiber coating allows it to escape both commercial and local radar. For this plane, El Chapo usually hires a private pilot. He doesn't like to mix business with pleasure, so the stealth plane is used only for private travel. He just happens to carry large amounts of drugs and cash with him when he travels. Do let us know in the comments what you think of him. Thanks for watching.